Hello gentle readers, today's book or fanfiction will be Nothing But Rain by Sephoric_444. Now this is a Regulus fanfiction, something I am not used to reading. Now when I saw this on AO3, I was like, okay, I'm going to try and read this on my Kindle because I lost my Kindle Unlimited prescription. Anyway, yeah, so I downloaded this onto my Kindle. I was like, okay, what are we giving? What kind of are we getting fluff? Are we getting smart? Are we getting angst? And I was so pleasantly surprised that I got all three. The big three. So we start off with just kind of serious bickering to the main marauders about Regulus, because obviously he's now moved out. And they're obviously not on good terms. And I forgot to mention this book does include the Slytherin, Skittles and the Marauders. They're both in this fanfiction. Yeah, so Sirius is just bickering to them, and James and everyone is just kind of talking about pranks, normal Marauder stuff. But then there's something weird starts to happen. James starts to have little, not talks, but interactions with Regulus. And it starts to get more, to the point where James, I think he's purposely failing a class just so he can be tutored by him. And then they end up just hooking up in these little tutor groups. But obviously the friends start to notice. They're like, okay, what's going on here? And then as they get closer and closer, they become more, not just hookups, more I want to say bonds. They become more bonded with each other. And as that happens, we fast track a bit. This, by the way, goes through to I want to say January to November, so we get a whole thingy. We get a full run through the year. But then at a Ravenclaw party, everything goes freaking tits up. And James starts not dating, fucking hell, that'd be a bit too far. Starts kissing this girl and stuff, and Regulus is what the hell? I thought you loved me. So he storms off and have this massive fight because James ends up getting a bit too touchy with him after obviously he's touched this girl. So Regulus is well, what the fuck are you doing? They end up fighting on the Quidditch field, but then by midway through, James is oh, I feel shit. I was an idiot, sorry. And they make up. But then on the last day of term, when they're all meant to go home, obviously Regulus doesn't want to go home. And James tries to kiss him in front of all of the Marauders, and Regulus is why the fuck would you do that? And I was like, shit, are we getting angst at the end of this book? But no, they end up just saying, James well, why don't you just stay here for a bit? And Regulus is I guess I could spare a few hours. And then they go to the room requirement, which by the way is a frequent place they hook up. The room requirement was yes, guys, have that smart diva. And they end up just freaking sleeping there, and it's so cute. And I personally loved it. I think what I loved is it had all genres. It didn't just feel like a fluff book, just an angst and just a smart. It was all very well compiled together.